Okay, so in this video we're going to set up a list of things to keep track of our tools. We're going to set up an array list that keeps track of the brush strokes so that we can draw them over and over and over. So we're going to set up a number of different fields to keep track of the brush attributes. So we're going to call this tool attributes, this little section of our fields, attributes. So we need to keep track of the color as we were doing before. We don't need this private int x and y that we were using before, just kind of for demo purposes. We're now going to set up private int tool x, so this is going to be the draw position of the x draw position, tool y, tool redness, tool greenness, tool green, and tool blue. We also need to know the tool width and the tool height. Let's see, is that everything? And then we need to keep an array list of the strokes that the user of our program has asked us to paint. So we're going to set up a private list of tool objects called, let's call this strokes. So brush strokes, that's the idea. And where you need to import list and import tool from our tools package. Now these are all highlighted in yellow because we have not used them yet, so we're going to use them now, or begin to use them. We need to set up, we need to initialize our list of stroke objects, so strokes equals new array list of tool objects, and we'll need to import array list. And let's head down here. Oh, and because we deleted x and y, now this is upset with us. So we'll just delete that because that was part of our demo stuff. Now in our listener, we need to not only listen for these events, but we need to listen for when the mouse is dragged. So that means depressed and then moved. And that is part of a different interface called mouse motion listener. And so we will need to import mouse motion listener from Java auth, and we will need to implement the unimplemented methods, and there are two of them. They are mouse dragged and mouse moved, so they keep track of when the mouse is being moved, and when that information is relevant to us, we implement the interface. So we currently have all these fields to keep track of our tool stuff. We need to actually have it use that information now to construct our list of strokes that whoever is using our program is requesting be painted. So we're going to create a different method called add stroke. So public void add stroke, just to keep things nice and clean. And this is going to take in a mouse event E. And I planned this before, and so this isn't like mysterious or anything. This is just my system for doing this. I like to keep things nice and clear what's going on with helper methods. So this add stroke method is going to be called by mouse dragged. So we're going to say add stroke, and we're going to take the mouse event called E and just pass it along to that method. So anytime the mouse is dragged, we're going to add a stroke based on the attributes that are set in the options panel. So in add stroke, we're going to say tool x equals e.getX, so the mouse event, like wherever the mouse is being clicked and dragged, and the same with tool y equals e.getY. And then we're also going to say tool width. We're going to set this to a constant right now because we don't have sliders to deal with width and height yet, which we will add in a little bit. So we're going to just say that the tool width and tool height equals 20. We're going to say that tool red equals options window, which is one of our fields, .getRed. Tool green equals options window .getGreen. Tool blue equals options window.getBlue, and we're going to say tool color equals new color based on those values, tool red, tool green, tool blue, and we're going to use our strokes array list, strokes.add new circle tool, which is a tool, is part of the, extends the tool class, so we can add it directly. New circle tool based on our values, so we need to pass it the tool X, tool Y, tool width, tool height, and tool color. And so, tall height. So every time, what this says is, oh, and we need to import tool from the tool package. What this method will do is add a new tool object to our strokes array list, which will be used to draw whatever the person has selected to draw on the screen. If it's not quite clear yet in this tutorial, it'll become clear in the next one, where we're actually going to start to draw objects based on this stuff. But this is enough for this one. So all we've done is we've created some fields to keep track of the information from the options panel. We added a mouse motion listener to keep track of when someone drags the mouse or paints on our panel. And now we added this method to actually add a stroke. And I forgot, we need to, because we are dealing with a scaled image, we need to divide X and Y by scale, because this will return the X and Y on the panel, but because we're painting on a smaller portion of the panel, we need to convert the X and Y to the appropriate position on our image. And that'll become clear what's going on in the next video, where we're actually going to start to paint with this stuff.